6 o'clock, and before I call our meeting to order, I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome each of you here tonight and tell you we're glad to have you. Always good to see a good crowd. I'd like to call our board meeting to order and ask you to stand for the invitations. I would and remain standing for the pledge of allegiance.
Let's pray. Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for bringing everyone here. We ask your guidance during this meeting and ask you to help us make the best decisions for the district. Lord, we lift up the Evans family to you, Lord, and the Powdersville family as they've lost the student to cancer. And I pray that you just give the family support and support the students as they deal with losing their classmate. Father, be with us again, and we ask these things in your name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Sid. Our next item number 4, is approval of the agenda, and I need a motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Wilson, do I have a second?
A second.
Ms. Burgess, any discussion? Hearing none, we're ready to vote. All those in favor, show it by the uplifted hand. Our next item is approval of our February 3rd meeting. You each have had a copy. Do you have any additions or corrections to be made at this time? Hearing none, I need a motion to approve the minutes.
I'm so ready to approve.
Ms. Ellison, do I have a second?
Second.
Ms. Burgess, ready to vote. All those in favor, show it by the uplifted hand. Okay, our next, Dr. Young, do you have a press tonight?
Not think he is over there tonight.
Okay, you want to go ahead with the recognition?
Yes, ma'am. We have several students that Dr. Wilson is going to recognize that are all-state achieving in our fine arts program. So we have a lot of students here tonight.
Yeah, we're excited. We have a group that are here tonight and a group we'll bring back in March, and I'll explain that in a minute. But these are going to be all-state chorus, high school chorus folks, some all-state middle school chorus folks, and all-state orchestra folks that we're going to have an opportunity. So it's up to Dr. Young. If y'all come forward, I'll let y'all. I'm going to call names. I know we have some folks that aren't here. I got some last minute, so I'm not sure exactly who's going to. So if we'll start with Palmetto High School. Jared Fricks is the course director. I don't think that's on here. And that's Daniel. I'm sorry. No, ma'am, you're good. I'm rushing. Daniel McGahee. Is there? I don't think any of our Powdersville band has an activity tonight, and a lot of our chorus folks are also involved in band or have band. Do we have any of our Powdersville chorus folks here tonight? I don't think any of them said they would make it. So I know we do have some of our Wren folks. So now we're going to go to Wren High School. This is the Wren High School All-State Chorus, and we'll start with Eliana. Give me your last name. Agassiz. Please. Thank you. Aiden Graham. Okay. Jaden King. Gabby Upton. That's our middle school. Our teacher for our middle school is here. Please. Miss Smith. Come up and let's get a picture with her.
Oh, no. I know that's our school.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Come on up.
Y'all look over here for a picture. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you all. All right. We also have several of our middle school chorus folks that we want to recognize. Miss Batson is here. We'll get her up for the picture. Come on up. Thank you for being here. Mackenzie Baker. Jackson Heller. Yeah, okay. Kate, will you help me with your last name if you're here? Can you help me with that? Lajeunesse. Okay. Madeline Wallace. And Georgia Upton. Thank you. Now with our orchestra, we will invite the chorus folks back next month that couldn't be here because there's a lot going on in the spring. Miss Haygood's here, I think. Come on up. And we have Brighton Mackison, All-State Orchestra. We have also from Powdersville High School, Miss Rafini, I know you were here, saw you. We have Normandy Tripp. Normandy, if you'll come up, please. Let's give all these folks a hand for being nice. Next month, we've got a couple of band folks that we're going to get in. They're all state, and we'll get the chorus folks that couldn't come. We love fine arts here, academic, sports, arts, what makes a good, well-rounded kid. So we appreciate the teachers and all that they do, and I'll turn it back over to Dr. Young.
We've also, this weekend, we had 2 students win individual state championships in wrestling that we look forward to recognizing in March too. But I think Miss Brady has some folks here to be recognized.
We do. I told y'all we'd be rock and rolling in February with some new hires. We do have a few folks that were recommended at the early February board meeting that was rescheduled from January. So we have a few of those here this evening. I am very excited to begin with our administrative recommendation. We are thrilled this evening to have Ms. Hannah Kate Blunt with us, and she brings quite a special group of people with her. So Hannah Kate, welcome and congratulations. Thank you. And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure, yes ma'am. So my name is Hannah Kate Blunt. I started teaching at Powdersville Elementary 5th grade last school year. And I'm going to be the new assistant principal at Oak Hill. And I brought with me my grandfather and my dad. My grandfather, Reggie Christopher, who you see is superintendent.
Congratulations and welcome. We also have several teacher recommendations. Andrew, if you would begin, please.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having us all here this evening. My name is Andrew Lee, and I'm a recent graduate of Columbia College. I was very lucky to be able to complete my student teaching in Anderson District 1, and also accept a position at Powdersville Elementary School in the LD self-contained classroom there. Very blessed, and I love that our district has a tradition of excellence. So thank you all for being here and letting me be a part of our district.
I'm Emma Clements. I am a product of Anderson 1. I went to Wren Feeder Schools. I am currently working at Powdersville Elementary in 5th grade. I did my student teaching there and was very blessed to be able to take a mid-year position. I will be at Hunt Meadows next year in 1st grade, so I'm very excited to continue to be in the district. So thank you.
Hey everybody, I am Emily McAllister. I'm a senior at Anderson University. I'm student teaching in A5 at Midway Elementary School in 1st grade. So I'm super excited to be in Anderson 1 at West Pelzer Elementary. I'm super excited.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Angela Nally. I am the school counselor at Forest Acres Elementary in Pickens County. So I'm making the shift to Anderson, so I'm very excited about that. I went to school at Clemson University and then went back to Anderson and then went back to Liberty, working on some different degrees. And so I will be with Miss Brenna Horn at Oak Hill Elementary. I'm very excited about that. So thank you for everything.
So we have Ms. Horn with us this evening, and we have Hannah Kate, and now we have the guidance at our new Oak Hill Elementary. So that's very exciting. I want to say a special thank you to our administrators that are here this evening. The hard work that you do to hire the very best to continue our tradition of excellence. And I also want to say a special thank you, as always, to Ms. Brooks. She does an amazing job, and we would just be lost without her helping to get the very best. So thank you. There we go.
Okay, my time. I want Dean to hear this. On behalf of our Anderson County School District 1 Board, I'd like to welcome you to the best school district in South Carolina. Say you're free to go at this time. Of course, you're welcome to stay if you'd like to, but you're not required to. Just thank you so much to all of you for coming and let us meet.
Very nice.
Okay, Dr. Young, move on to superintendent's report, unless you have some more.
I think we've got some Anderson students on the back row that they're doing their required board meeting, so we'll try to be respectful of their time and keep it rolling.
Yeah, we're glad to have you.
Next is the financial report. We're in the January tab in your notebooks. Mr. Thomas and Ms. Durham and I spoke this afternoon on some of the people activity accounts at the local school level. There are some that we're working with the bookkeepers and the principals at the schools to make sure we're cleaning up as we start rounding the curve into the 4th 9 weeks. But if there's any specific questions on any of those local accounts, please feel free to reach out to myself, Mr. Thomas for a few more weeks, or Ms. Durham. Next, on the blue pages, you have our investment accounts. You see we've got 50 CDs with a little over $11.3 million invested, with almost $300,000 in interest rate at $298,736. On the 3rd page, you see the summary of all the different investment accounts we have in Anderson 1. On the following page, you see the backup for 1, 2, and 3. Then the next page is the backup for 4. And then the final blue page is the backup for 5. And then I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Thomas for the building program.
Thank you, Dr. Young. Our first report is Subfund 502, our building program. And this shows the entire program revenue balance is at $56,128,000. And then our total building program expense, $52,810,000. And that leaves our balance at a little over $5.2 million. Below that, you can see, of course, Oak Hill, still ongoing project, as well as some purchasing some playground equipment for a couple of elementary schools. And then also you can see the completed projects on the bottom right-hand side as well. Next page is our Subfund 515 local option sales tax. And this is also for the month of January, but it reflects collections from the month of October. So Anderson County as a whole collected in a little more than $3.6 million for the month. Anderson One's percentage of that is 33.9%, and that generated $1,230,000. 20% of that goes directly to property tax relief. That was $246,000, and the remaining 80% is for capital use within Anderson One, $984,125. Below that, you can see the beginning fund balance at the beginning of January, $20.9 million, plus the revenue and interest received brings our ending fund balance to a little over $22 million. Also, at the bottom of that page, you can see the recent projects and ongoing projects out of local option sales tax.
Travis, when we gonna cross 34%?
Probably the next time they do, it won't be long. The next time they adjust it, we should be pretty close, most likely. Next report is our revenue report for school board. This shows all of our revenues listed, all our revenue accounts. If you'll take note of that first one, our ad valorem, which is our property tax, the 100,001,210 account, and we received in $15 million for the month. So January is the big month when we received the majority of that revenue. So that really ticked up our numbers for January. The bottom of the page shows our balances or totals. Revenue received for the month of January, $26,758,000, and then total revenue year to date, $75,540,000. That puts us right at 63% of budget. And the last final report is our expenditure report. This is also for January. The second page has our totals and expenses in January, $9,232,000, and then total expenses year to date, a little over $61 million, and that puts us at 51% on the expense side of budget. If there's any questions, please just let us know, and we'll get you an answer if we don't know it right away. And be glad to answer any questions that you have.
Any questions? Thank you, Colin. Okay, our next is instructional.
Yep, I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Moore.
Thank you, Dr. Young. Good evening. I want to, we're going to pause for professional development and accountability in that world and just give a brief update. And I apologize if I sound terrible, a little under the weather. But just want to let you know as our board some things that just we continue to work on and try to get better at instructionally. And so part of what I'm going to share with you is really guided by some mandates from the state regarding things like universal screening and tiered interventions from Act 213, Act 114, part of Agree to Succeed, but really talking about like what do we do for students to help them improve and achieve at higher levels, and make sure we're supporting students that at times may have some learning difficulties, etc. And so all this falls under the umbrella of MTSS, which is something you'll hear in educational terms all the time that comes up. Sometimes it's used synonymously with something called RTI. But MTSS really is an umbrella of supports for our students. And so what we try to do is make sure that our schools are speaking the same language when it comes to how we support our students. And that's something that we continue to work on. And so what that means, and a couple of things I wanted to pick out and highlight for our board today. One is we want to make sure that our schedule during the school day provides time for our students to receive the intervention and supports that they need. And so we have schedules, although they might look a little bit different at each school, unique to the personnel and the schedules at each school, that provide grade level essential standards, so all of our students get to receive grade level content. But then if they need a little additional support, there's time embedded in the schedule for them to receive that. And then if we have some students that are clearly multiple years behind, which that is the case at times, then we even have an opportunity embedded in the schedule for them to receive very targeted intervention. And so when we do that, we want to make sure that our schools have a schedule conducive to providing what the student needs. What I will say is we've shared before, we're working with our administrators, teacher leaders, coaches in our A1 lead meetings once a month on Tier 1. because any educator will tell you that if you're not solid in tier 1, just what's going on in the classroom every day, then you can overload your tier 2 and tier 3 pretty quickly. So we're very proud of the work that we're doing, focusing on just good classroom instruction and our professional development. Excuse me. A couple of other things that I want to highlight. One is we do have what we call MTSS facilitators in each of our buildings. And these are people, educators, that when a parent or a teacher brings a student that they're worried about, let's just say in this case academically, for instance, then they have a process that they'll work through to try to ensure that we're providing in the moment what that student needs to be successful. Now, we want it to be data-driven, and that really is the key in the MTSS world, is to ensure that we're not just making guesses, but we're making sure we have data to back up what's working or what's not working. But we do meet quarterly with them. We just had our most recent round of meetings with them to ensure that we're cohesive across the district and how we support our students and the process that we go through. The last thing that I'll mention in this area is that we know that at times, no matter how much support we provide, there are students that will qualify for special education services. For instance, being served with an IEP. But what's really important in this is that we have a very specific process that our schools adhere to make sure that we are, number one, not over-identifying students for special education, but number two, that we are making sure that we've done everything in our power as a problem-solving entity to support the student before special education services are required. So that is a constant ebb and flow and checks and balances, and that's why we meet with our MTSS facilitators, and we're also working very closely with special services and Dr. Keith to ensure alignment with what we're doing. So that's just a quick update that's ongoing work in regard to how we're using intervention in our schedule to support our students and trying to align ourselves with the right language across our schools. I want to pivot, if you'll allow me to, and just quickly, and there's just this was from the meeting. I happened to be sitting over and took a quick picture. So Mary Beth Smith's one of our literacy coaches that's our district level facilitator for this. We had some really great conversations with our MTSS facilitators to, again, make sure we're kind of speaking the same language to support our students across the district. I want to pivot quickly before I close. I know Heather does a great job of providing information for our board in terms of our fine arts and events that are coming up, and there are some great events coming up. Here are three that I picked out just to highlight for today. Our spring sing at Rock Springs for our 5th grade chorus from each school is always a great event, and Rock Springs is usually packed out, and it's always a wonderful time. Trilogy, our percussion group from Anderson 1, they're just getting started. I checked in on them recently. They have their first competition that's coming up, I believe this weekend at Presbyterian College, and then they have their finals or championships that will be at Winthrop on April the 4th. And then, near and dear to my heart, I love our orchestra programs, our strings programs at the 5th grade level in our elementary schools. And if you've never been to the spring concert, they come a long way. I just want you to know, from the fall when they pick up that instrument for the first time to this. And we put them all in the gym at Powersville High School, and it really is phenomenal, and they come a long way. So I just wanted to make sure I highlighted those fine arts opportunities and opportunities to support those kids as well. So I'll stop there and specific needs. You're going to have a grade level representative. You're going to have an assistant principal, literacy coach, or instructional coach. And really, if there's a, let's just say there is a behavioral issue, you can invite in. We have behavioral supports in place, so we can invite someone into that meeting. So it's really based on the need of the child, but each school has a very solid group of educators that meet monthly to bring up those individual cases. And really what they do, Ms. Hood, is they problem solve. Like they say, okay, here is what the child is struggling with or what they present. It's our job to figure out a plan of action, and then we're going to put that plan of action in place, and then we're going to look at that data to see if we're helping that child improve in that specific area, and they're great at that. We do a really solid job there. Thank you for the question. Sure.
This is a bit of levity here, but I remember when my youngest was in strings at Red Middle, we had to get there an hour and a half early to get a seat. I mean, it's like 150
That's
kids.
the way it will be.
Yes. And Mr. Miller is still his favorite teacher of all time.
No, he went to Bowling Springs,
Yeah.
I think.
His strings teacher Eli did pursue that after middle school. But several Christmases through his college years, he'd get out his violin and play, and it still sounded as bad as it did in the end.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well stated.
I've tried to sell that Yamaha violin for a long time.
Well, as a former elementary principal, I can tell you that the December concerts, it was difficult to tell the difference at times between Jingle Bells and other Christmas well-known songs, but they really do come a long way. They do.
And Brad, I think that the whole district course, is that not on March 5th?
Yes.
Yes, that's correct. Yes, ma'am.
What's that?
That's the whole district course, where so many are selected from each school, and then they have a permission to leave it with them all day, then they do it. The school does a concert in the high school.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, Dr. Young.
Next, I'm gonna turn it over to Ms. Brady for the student nutrition report.
Okay, our student nutrition report this month, you have the information there. I guess the most important thing is just the impact of school closings that it does have on a day-by-day basis, including our recent closings with the snow, which were unavoidable, and then the impact that Hurricane Helene had on as far as our commodity entitlement. The thing I want to end on is we are very excited that we have a new manager at Oak Hill, a new cafeteria manager. Miss Leland Huggins will be there. She has been a very effective manager at Powersville Elementary. So our goal now is to replace her and there at Powersville, but we're very excited to get that program up and running as well.
Thank you. Any questions?
Next, turn to Dr. Wilson for the.
Thank you, Dr. Young. We've got two policies in an administrative rule. The state has put out a new model policy. There's really nothing in here that's shocking or that different. They've asked us to put some things actually in policy from the law. You can see in the red some examples of foster care kids and how that's dealt with, absences of folks who have been out for career and technology. That was a huge issue last year. We've never had that issue. If a parent called us and said the school had marked that inadvertently they had been on an FFA trip and they've got an unexcused, we just fixed it. Apparently there were some districts in the state that wouldn't do that and, you know, not give a kid an unexcused absence for like a trip to FFA or anything like that. So that definitely was an issue somewhere in the state. It just hadn't been one here. The administrative rule again is just supportive of that rule. You can see really everything. The blue is things that we had in our former policy that we kept, such as a lot of districts don't have like a county-wide attendance officer. Our county board does our attendance truancy, remember the old truant officer. That's done through the county board, so we kept that. And then the rest of this is just right out of the state law that's a part of the new standard. So that's our student attendance. And then the other policy is just that I mentioned before, that there were some folks in the state that were not excusing absences for career and technology. I don't quite understand if that's been the case, so we're actually going to put in our policy now, based on what the state asked us to do, to say we're basically going to excuse kids that are a part of a school-sponsored career and technology activity, which we've always done anyway, so that's really nothing new. So it's just for your information this month, and I'm happy to hear anything, questions, or comments you have between now and next month.
Okay, so this is just for our information this month. We'll vote next month. Thank you, Dr. Wilson.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Dr. Young.
Before I start the building and the safety updates, I want to just go ahead and put it out there. Next month, Ms. Brady is going to be talking to you guys a little bit about our leave policy. So as we start getting that finalized, I'll share that with you ahead of time because there's a lot of updates we're making to that, and that'll be some good weekend reading for you all to read up on as we get closer to the March board meeting. I do want to just make you guys aware of this, and I sent this link to the board this week, but I wanted to play this video. It's about a minute. We finally got our allocation from the State Department Safety Grant, so we got about $283,000 Dr. Wilson worked on that grant, so we got and worked with the State Department, and with that, we're going to be able to get these wearable badges that will fit right behind the badge that I have on. There'll be a wearable badge, and there'll be a button on there that staff members can have, and this will show you a little bit about how it works. If you've ever been in this room and we've tried to play a video, let's all just hope this works correctly.
Used by more K-12 schools in the U.S. than any other panic alert solution, Raptor introduces another layer of emergency alerting with Raptor Badge Alert. Integrated as an all-in-one alerting solution, the Raptor system harmonizes wearable technology with a mobile application for superior performance and coordination. By simply pressing a button, staff can send pre-configured alerts securely over a long-range LoRa network. Dedicated gateways provide reliable connectivity throughout the campus. Strategically placed beacons triangulate the badge's location, providing floor-level accuracy displayed on interactive campus maps. This immediate situational awareness empowers responders to coordinate efforts efficiently. When an alert is initiated, the system activates synchronized campus-wide notifications, which can include strobe lights, sirens, digital signage, PA messages, and more. This enables staff and responders to take swift action and communicate effectively across the school. In harmony with Raptor Emergency Management, staff can access secure in-app communication, account for students, staff, and visitors, and safely reunify families. Raptor Badge Alert is the only multi-point alerting system designed exclusively for K-12 and licensed by the I Love You Guys Foundation, featuring both the standard response protocol and the standard reunification method workflows. Raptor Badge Alert, because protecting every child, every school, every day is our only mission.
So we'll be working with, I know Dr. Wilson and Greg Gilstrap from our Director of Technology have already been in touch about some next steps, and we hope to work alongside Dr. Whitfield so that we have this ready to roll out this summer, and our staff will have those as we get in next year. So as we start working through all the kinks and all that stuff, we will continue to keep you updated. But excited that we got the funding that we'll be able to pay for that through the safety grant from the state.
Will the funding also cover all the technical?
Yes, yep. They've got all the upgrades that we have to have within the school to make that work, and then also we have enough funding for a 5-year commitment to make sure that all of that stays up to date, and enough badges that if our staff grows, we'll have all that infrastructure to stay updated.
And they send in their people to install.
Yes. Yep.
I don't know if it was this technology, but Appalachia High School.
It was a different company, but it's essentially the same technology that they had down in Georgia that when they had an active shooter incident, that the staff was able to notify that.
They attributed that to saving a lot of lives.
Yes. Yep. All right. Next thing, I just wanted to make sure that speaking of safety of our students, I want to talk about mental health. We are, as you know, our budget is what it is. So as with our district level leadership, I've tasked all of our directors to just really look at, is there anywhere we can be creative with being more economical with our decision making, with potentially saving money on the general fund. And next year, I just want to make sure everybody is clear that we are going to have access to mental health available in all of our schools. There will be a mental health counselor available. Some of those will be from the Anderson County Department of Mental Health. Some of those will be Anderson School District 1 employees. We have those at our high schools. And then we're also partnering with Stepping Stones, which is a group that the other districts in Anderson County use. And it comes very, very highly recommended. So we're transitioning to that throughout the spring and summer. But we really feel like Dr. Sheely and Ms. Amber Monteroyo, who are folks that really coordinate all those efforts in our schools, we're going to be able to save over $150,000 or however kind of restructuring the way we provide those supports. Again, there's still going to be support available to all of our students. We're working through the transition time. The contract with the previous vendor that we worked with expires this summer. So we're just working through that transition. It was a good time for them to find another alternative, and excited about that partnership that we're going to be starting next fall. Wanted to just update you on a couple things. Construction, as you know, the local option sales tax revenue that Mr. Thomas mentioned. We're doing a lot of different projects that we met back in the fall about. This is an example of the updated playground for our preschool special education students. This is actually a picture of what will be at Hunt Meadows. It'll be something very similar at Palmetto Elementary. Mr. Kinder, is yours happening this spring, or is it going to be a summer project?
Should be delivered, I think, middle of March.
Yeah, so
We finished it in summer. Thank you.
Yep, gonna be working on that. Roofing HVAC upgrades. We've got this spring. If you come to a soccer game at Palmetto, you'll start seeing the bleachers being taken apart so that those can be ready for football season. This fall, the band tower at Powdersville High School is being fixed, and as we talked about, the activity buses. And I just want to reiterate, this is coming from local option sales tax, so I just want to continue to put that before you. Powdersville Elementary transition next week. Originally we had to kind of monitor and adjust our plans, but after school on March 4th, they're having some planning time where we're really trying to take care of our folks after school, make it a fun celebratory event, giving them opportunities to get together with their staff and start talking about what's Concrete Elementary School going to look like, Powdersville Elementary, Oak Hill Elementary, get to work with those administrative teams a little bit. All of our staff and families have been notified. Dr. Wilson has done a good job working with those families as we work through some of their questions about things. And the big question that we're starting to work through is extracurricular activities. For instance, if you've been involved in robotics or archery, what's that going to look like moving forward? And the principals have done a phenomenal job of working together to make sure that we're going to have similar experiences for all those families. And again, the families have been great to work with because they know that routines are going to change and they're going to have to be a little bit more flexible, but we really have had really positive conversations with most folks. I want to show you a couple pictures. We've been talking about road construction, I think, since my very first board meeting almost 2 years ago, but they're finally like tearing up the road, so you can see them doing something. I took a picture of that today because I was excited to see it. This is in the main office, and I was excited to take this picture because this paper that's on the floor is covering up carpet. So if they're starting to put the flooring on the ground, you know that they're really putting those finishing touches on. So that's exciting to see what that looks like. These are some classrooms and collaborative spaces, and once they put the ceiling tiles and the flooring in, this classroom is really kind of getting close to the end, and the collaborative spaces are really coming together. They've got the boards out there for folks to display their work. This is a picture of the cafeteria right here, and you can start to see the colored glass and the impact that's going to have. And I took a picture of the kitchen because they've got the coolers in place, and looking forward to having those coolers. That we hope that we have a generator that if in the event we have any kind of weather event, that we can keep food for the whole Powdersville area cool in those coolers. This is a little special needs classroom at the front. You see they've got the sink and all that. And I'm actually standing in the sensory room to take the picture so you can see the boards on the wall. And again, this paper on the floor means that the flooring is already down, so you really can start to see what it's going to look like. And then the playground for the 4K, and that's also ADA compliant outside there. It's really, really neat. This is a picture of the entrance to the conference center that'll be there on the back, and this is the room. So like nights like tonight, when we had to kind of split up our all-state chorus and our all-state band and work around that. We'll be able to move our meeting to this room on a night like tonight so that we have enough room for everybody to come at once, and you see that it's really starting to come together. You see how big it's going to be. There'll be screens like this around the room. There'll be a big one up there and then some around the room so folks can see. I know Mr. Moore is excited to have this available so that we're not having to scratch and claw to find places to go when he wants to have his different teacher meetings, and really excited to have that in place. But that's kind of where we are with our construction update. And again, I keep saying this, and y'all keep telling me you're going to reach out so you can walk through it, but let me know when you want to go see it.
I'm coming when I'm going up the road, F-85 to work one day, just gotta be warmer.
I'll tell you, I visited, Hunt Meadows this morning, and that local option sales tax allowing us to do the ADA compliant is an incredible blessing to that school.
Yes, with that preschool program, and it's a massive upgrade for those students.
Thank you, Dr. Young. Any other questions? Our next item is to go into executive session to discuss a property matter. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Ms. Ellison, do I have a second? Dr. Neal, all those in favor, please show it by the uplifted hand, and that is unanimous. not against the other one.
We don't have to do any more.
Dedication.
Okay, I'd like to report that there's no action taken during executive session, and we're ready to move to personnel. Is that the honor?
All right, Ms. Brady?
Yes. Well, as you can see, we have one administrative recommendation this evening. We're very excited about having Kate joining us. We have 3 teacher recommendations, 4 resignations, 1 retirement that we are very sad, but very happy for her. Miss Carrie Pennington will be retiring. We also have a number of transfers. We are beginning the process of transferring teachers in that Powersville feeder. So not to just inundate you, but we are doing that and kind of working through that process. Ms. Towson and I both checked on those schools about a week or so ago. The teachers seem very settled. Hopefully we have done that in a very seamless way, and we certainly appreciate your support with that.
I just want to say thank you, Ms. Brady and Ms. Tollison, and the 3 principals have done a great job managing all the transition with the staff in those buildings.
Thank you, Dr. Young. And then we have our list of district office administrative contracts for 26 and 27. So that is what is on the personnel section of the board agenda.
Okay, you've heard Ms. Brady's recommendation. Do I have a motion that we accept these?
So moved.
Ms. Wilson, second. Ms. Burgess, any discussion? Ready to vote? All those in favor, please show it by the uplifted your hand. Our next item is to adjourn. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Ms. Ellison, do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please stand and thank you.